Hello, my dear children and parents. Welcome to Indus Valley Public School RAT e-learning classes, class 9th, where we will do a lesson from your Beehive book, lesson number 7, and the name of the lesson is Packing. This lesson is written by Jerome K. Jerome. Children, in this lesson, we will be studying about packing, how it is important in our life, what precaution we need to take care while doing packing, what do and don'ts we have to follow while packing, and we should not consider packing in a playful mood. It is very essential thing that we used to do while we are moving out. Okay? Now, in this story, we will be seeing 4 characters. Jerome K. Jerome, author himself, his friends George and Harris, Montmorency, the pet dog. Now, I'm going to give you a brief description about author, how he is going to behave in this lesson or in this story. Jerome is the narrator of the story, and the entire gamut of events are depicted from his point of view. So means whole story is here from the point of author's point of view. Okay, he is overconfident and rates his packing skills a bit too high. He is also arrogant and expects his friends to carry out the tedious part of packing while he sits back and passes orders. His friends, however, do not take him seriously, and finally he has to struggle while trying to pack the bag. Jerome is both clumsy and forgetful. He first forget to pack the shoes and they can't recall if they has put in his toothbrush or not. He unpacks the bag twice, clumsily, to accommodate the missing items. When his friends fumble while packing the hamper, he sits at the edge of the table and watches them because now it is his turn to have fun at their expense. However, he is an ordinary boy who ignores the shortcomings of his friends in the same way as he ignores his own. Okay? Now about his friends we will be reading George and Harris. So George and Harris are the friends of the narrator Jerome. Both of them are as clumsy, ill-organized, forgetful, and casual as Jerome. So all the 3 friends are similar. They commit mistakes even while doing ordinary tasks and keep repeating their mistakes. Like Jerome, they too are mistaken about their talent to pack stuffs and are overconfident about their performance. They damage or spoil many things like cups, peas, tomato, butter, and lemon while packing the hamper. Their action amuses the readers, especially when they misplace the butter and search for it all over the place. Somehow, in spite of making a fool of themselves while packing for the trip, they don't believe in any blame game and ignore each other's mistakes. So, Jerome also used to ignore the mistake of his friends. Similarly, his friends also ignore the mistakes of Jerome. Now coming towards the pet, that is Montmorency, and the pet is dog. Montmorency is the pet dog of 3 friends, Jerome, George, and Harris. He is a pampered pet and knows no restraints on his behavior. His animal instinct to probe everything creates a nuisance for his master. He likes to be a part of all the activities going on in the house and gets excited to see the boys packing things. He doesn't mind being shouted at and does not even respond when they try to move him away from the packed stuff. He is a super energetic pet, and 10 amount of scolding dampens his enthusiasm. He may ill-trained, temperamental, destructive, and meddlesome, but he is loved by the readers as much as his masters. His presence in the story makes it more interesting and amusing. Now, about the author Jerome K. Jerome. So his full name is Jerome Klapka Jerome, and he was an English writer and humorist, best known for comic travelogue Three Men Boat in a Boat. Other work include the essay collection Idle Thoughts of an Idle Fellow and Second Thought of an Idle Fellow, Three Men Boat on Bimmel, a sequence to Three Men in a Boat, and several other novels are written by him. So he was a humorist writer. He was born on 2nd May 1859 in Caltmore, Walsall, Staffordshire, England, and he left this world on 14 June 1927 at the age of 68, Northampton General Hospital. Okay. The young Jerome attended St. Marylebone Grammar School. He wished to go into politics or be a man of letters, but the death of his father when Jerome was 13 and of his mother when he was 15 forced him to quit his studies and find work to support himself. He was employed at the London and North Western Railway, initially collecting coal that fell along the railway, and he remained there for 4 years. So this is all about the author. Now, coming towards the introduction of the lesson. Packing is an extract from Jerome K. Jerome's novel Three Men in a Boat. So now this is a story that is taken from his novel Three Men in a Boat. This is a humorous extract about the confusion and mess created by people who are inexperienced in the art of packing. It exposes the utter clumsiness of the three friends, Jerome, George, and Harris. They consider themselves to be skilled in the art of packing, but in reality, all of them have little knowledge about working in an organized manner. Hence, to the great amusement of the reader, the small job of packing is carried out by them with many a jerk and jolt. Okay, children? Now, moving towards the lesson. So, here is the explanation first. So, before we start with the lesson, let's see all these questions. Do you like going on trips? What kind of trip do you enjoy most? So, here author is asking, do you like the trips? Trips mean journey. जब आप एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाते हो, so do you like that? And which kind of journey you like? With your friends, with your family, or it's a tour, or it's a trip for official trip or personal trip. So which kind of trip you enjoy the most? It is asked over here. How do you feel about having to pack for a trip? So while moving out, you need to pack your things. So do you like that? Do you like packing? Is it also asked here? Next. Have you ever discovered on a trip that you have forgotten to pack a few things you very much need? मतलब कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें जो बहुत ज़रूरी थी आपके लिए वो पैक करना भूल गए हो, or that you can't find them easily, और वो चीज़ मार्केट में या कहीं और जाएंगे तो इजीली नहीं मिलेगी. सपोज करो आपकी कोई मेडिसिन है, आप भूल गए हो, नहीं लेके गए हो, पैकिंग कर ली, बाहर गए हो, वो मिलनी भी मुश्किल है, तो इट्स सम प्रॉब्लम, नो? Okay. Does this make you angry or does it make you laugh at yourself? So when you miss your things while packing, when you're moving out for a trip, so when you come to know that you missed out all these things, so whether that missing a packing of a thing makes you laugh or angry, it's up to you. It depends on you. आपको गुस्सा आता है या आपको हंसी आती है, आप ये सामान छोड़ गए हो. Now, read the description of how the author and his friends pack. So now here we are going to study about the author and his friends packing while they are moving for a trip. So here is the first stanza. I said I would pack. So now author is saying that he liked to pack luggage for trips and announced that he would do the packing. So he is saying, I will do the packing. Who is saying this? This is said by author Jerome. Okay? Jerome. I rather pride myself on my packing. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more about than others person living. It surprises me myself sometimes how many such things are there are. I impressed the fact upon the George and Harris and told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. They fell into the suggestion with a readiness that they had something uncanny about it. George spread himself over the easy chair and Harris cocked his legs on the table. So children, some of the word meanings. Pride myself on means proud of. Fell into means acceptance. Uncanny means strange. And one more is there, cocked his legs means bent the legs on the knee and he sat. जो आप लोग एक के ऊपर एक पैर चढ़ा के बैठ जाते हैं, that is the way. Okay. So now here it is told that Jerome thought that his ability to pack luggage, मतलब Jerome को लगता था कि जो उसकी ability है packing करने की, was better than others. He asked his friends George and Harris to leave the task of packing to him. So the two friends agreed to Jerome's offer instantly, which was very strange for them. George sat comfortably on the easy chair and Harris bent his knee as he sat on the sofa and kept his feet on the table. So both of the friends were relaxed and Jerome was doing the packing. Next one. This was hardly what I intended. Intended means planned or meant. A desire, strong desire you can say. What I had meant, of course, was that I should boss the job and that Harris and George should potter about under my directions, I pushing them aside every now and then with, "Oh, you? Here, let me do it. There you are, simple enough, really teaching me, as you might say. They're taking it in the way they did irritated me. There is nothing does irritate me more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am working." So potter about means होता है do something unimportant things, मतलब कोई unimportant चीज़ें कर रहे हो. जैसे उसके friends बैठे हुए थे and they were not doing anything important. So here in this paragraph it is told that by saying that author he would pack, so author did not mean that his friend should sit idle and relax while he would do all the work. By saying this, he meant that he would boss upon them while they would do all the chores. Means he will tell his friend to do this, do that, do that. He did not want his friend to sit idle. He would nag them and curse them for not knowing the work well, and then he would chip in to sort out a mess that they would create. He was irritated to see them sitting while he did all his work. Okay. So now coming to the next paragraph. So they did irritated. There is nothing does irritate more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am working. So I already explained the author was getting irritated when he saw his friends were sitting idle, they are not doing anything. Next one. I lived with a man once who used to make me mad that way. He would loll on the sofa and watch me doing things by the hour together. He said, It did him real good to look on at me, messing about. Now, I am not like that. I can't sit still and see another man slaving and working. I want to get up and superintended and walk around with my hands in my pockets and tell him what to do. It is my energetic nature. I can't help it. So loll on sofa means to recline or lean in a relaxed manner. तो आप लोग relax होके सोफे पे बैठ जाते हैं. And messing about means to waste time doing without a particular purpose. Sit still, it means children, sit still means doing nothing, sitting without doing any work. Okay, so now I'll let you explain this paragraph. So it is told here the author was collecting one of his memory, and that memory was once he lived with a man who would sit lazily on the sofa all day through and would watch the writer to do all work. The man would say that he enjoyed watching him go around. That man idle बैठा होता था तो वो ऑथर को काम करते देख के बहुत एंजॉय करता था. ठीक है. दिस वुड मेक द राइटर मैड विद एंगर. और वो ये सारी चीज़ें देख के उसे बहुत एंगर आता था. किसको? ऑथर को. द राइटर एड्स दैट ही could not sit idle and watch others work like slave. On the other hand, he liked to check their work, walk around with his hands in his pocket. तो ऑथर क्या करता था? उनके वर्क को चेक करने से मज़ा आता था, पॉकेट में हाथ डाल के देखने में, and direct them on how to do the work properly. He feels that as he was energetic. So who is feeling energetic? Author is feeling energetic. It was a part of his nature to behave in that manner. Okay. However, I did not say anything but started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be, but I got the bag finished at last, and I sat on it and strapped it. Ain't you going to put the boots in? Said Harris. And I looked around and found I had forgotten them. And I took around, I've forgotten them. That's just like Harris. He couldn't have said a word until I had got the bag shut and strapped. Of course, and George laughed. One of those irritating, senseless laugh of his. They to make me so wild. So wild means mad with anger. Strapped means closed, and superintended means to supervise, to manage. So now in this paragraph it is told that the writer did not say anything to his friends and started packing. As he closed the bag, Harry said that he had forgotten to pack the boot. Who has forgotten? The author. The writer felt that Harris could have reminded him before he had closed the bag, but he thought that Harris was like that. This was followed by an irritating laughter of George, which made Jerome wild with anger. Means he was angry. He was deeply angry. He was mad with anger. Okay, why? Because once he had packed the bag, उसने बैग बंद कर दिया. उसके बाद हरीश उसको याद दिलाता है जेरोम को कि उसने बूट नहीं रखा. तो उसने मन में सोचा कि पहले भी याद दिला देता जब मैं बैग पैक कर दिया था, उसके पहले याद दिला देता. वही यही उसने कुछ बोला नहीं और यही सोच के जेरोम को बहुत गुस्सा आया. ओके, नेक्स्ट. I opened the bag and packed the boots in, and then just as I was going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never do know whether I have packed my toothbrush. So now Jerome opened the bag to keep the boots in it. As he was about to close the bag, he was struck by a strange thought that he had kept the toothbrush or not. he says that he never remember if he has packed the toothbrush. Okay. My toothbrush is a thing that haunts me when I am traveling and makes my life a misery. I dream that I haven't packed it and wake up in the cold perspiration and get out of bed and hunt for it. And in the morning I pack it before I have used it and have to unpack again to get it. And it is always the last thing I turned out of the bag, and then I repack and forget it and have to rush upstairs for it at the last moment and carries it to the railway station wrapped up in my pocket handkerchief. So now here haunt means already it is given, repeatedly give trouble. Misery means होता है sad. Then I say cold perspiration means sweat, मतलब आपको एकदम पसीना आ जाता है that way. And haunt means to search, or every mortal things means a very small thing with that is very ordinary thing. So here in this paragraph it is explained that Jerome add that while traveling he always messes up with carrying his tooth, मतलब वो हमेशा भूल जाता है उसका टूथब्रश को. He has a nightmare of not having packed it. Wakes up in a sweat, मतलब उसको हमेशा सपना आता है कि वो पैक नहीं करता, वो अचानक से उड़ जाता है नींद में से, पसीना पसीना हो जाता है. And look for it. In the morning he packs it before using it. और वो सुबह सुबह बिना ब्रश किए उसको पैक कर देता है. Then unpack the bag to get the brush and use it. उसके बाद वो फिर unpack करता है, ब्रश निकालता है, उसको यूज़ करता है. And it is the last thing that comes out of the bag and he has repacked the bag. He forgets packing it again. At the last moment, he rushes to his room to get the brush and finally he wraps it in his handkerchief and carries it to the railway station in his hand. तो फाइनली लास्ट में क्या करता है, वो टूथब्रश को अपने हैंकी में पैक करता है और हाथ में लेके स्टेशन पे चला जाता है. ओके. नाउ here coming to the last paragraph that I'll explain in this video, and rest I'll explain in the other video. Okay. Of course, I had to turn every mortal thing out now, and of course I could not find it. I rummaged and things upon into much the same state that they must have been before the world was created. And when chaos reigned, of course, I found George and Harry's 18 times over, but I couldn't find my own. I put the things back one by one and held everything up and shook it. Then I found it inside a boot. I repacked once more. So, here rummage means search in a hurry or careless way. Chaos means confusion, and reigned means to ruled. Okay, it's not ranged means ruled. किसी के ऊपर rule करना. So here in this stanza, it is told that as Jerome was looking for his toothbrush in his bag, he had to remove everything, but he could not find it. He created a mess. He found his friend's brush many times, but could not find his brush. And he even counted them. It's 18 times. He kept everything back into the bag one by one, shaking each item, and finally found the brush inside a boot. Then once again, the author repacked the bag. So children, go through the explanation, go through all these stanzas, in all these paragraphs 1 to 6. Any doubt, to call me up and discuss in the next online class. Okay. Now it's a time to say you thank you and bye-bye. Take care.